Hello everyone, we're back with the lovely Ghostpia. We are going to the middle of episode 3 in the room. Here we go. Okay, well, let me make sure. 11-7, 319. Actually, let me go from save. Right? Oh wow, I have a lot of 1942. Yeah, this is correct. I'm glad that they have this actually, this load screen. I wish there were more save slots. That's something that I don't think I mentioned before. Z to progress through the story, and we can press A to go back. Okay, thanks for having me. You're welcome. Ka-thunk. The door shuts. It doesn't seem to shut in slow motion, and the sound of it shutting doesn't sound particularly sad either. It feels like a relief, actually. I guess I really am a cold woman after all. It may have only been for a short while, but Yoru and I ate together and slept together, and yet I feel nothing now that she's gone. I space out for a few seconds, and then... maybe I should have at least walked her out. I whisper an idea that comes way too late, but it feels like I'm lying to myself. If I walked her out and waved until she faded into the distance, it'd be so sad to look at her footsteps in the snow. At the very least, it'd be weird for me to do that when I'm the one who kicked her out. It'd be almost hypocritical, like I'm hiding my true feelings or something. My true feelings. That's right. I wanted Yoru to leave. It's not like I particularly enjoyed how I lived before Yoru moved in, but it's way better than living with someone who's loud all the time. After being in the negatives, I just wanted to return to 0. And now that Yoru's gone, my life is back to 0. For some reason, I felt like I needed to find a job, but I don't really need to. In short, the end goal was to get her out of my room, and now she has. The end. I didn't kick her out buck naked. I kicked her out after she had found herself a job and a new place to live. I'm sure I'll see her again in town eventually. We might even drink coffee together at Mr. Patel's cafe again. Maybe Yoru would vent about work. Maybe Pacifica and Anya will be there too and sympathize with her. Maybe the three of them will laugh. Maybe I'll even join in and laugh too. I imagine a future like that. Yep, we've settled everything peacefully. Congratulations, you've reached the most optimal solution. I'm sure it is. It probably is. Yes. Yes. I close my eyes and nod my head, trying to give myself validation. Yes, 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 yes. The repeated nodding of my head makes me want to go lie down for a bit. Yes, you should go to sleep. Maybe that'll cheer me up a little. That's right. Once I cheer up, I can go talk to Pacifica and Anya. Yes. My eyes snap open when the doorbell rings. I'm already up on my feet before I know it. Yoru? I feel irritated even as I reach out for the doorknob and open the door. Exactly! What is this guy? Exactly what? Exactly. Standing there is the elderly man from way back when, which, as expected, is exactly the opposite of exactly what I expected. I can barely remember things about Pacifica, Anya, and even myself, and yet I quickly remember this elderly man. I know it's due to recency bias, but it still stings. I'm here to apply for the position of roommate. He smells like dirt, sweat, and a tinge of excrement. I furrow my eyebrows at the sudden affront on my lungs. Simply put, heard there's an opening in this... Say, oh wow. It's dangerous for a girlie to be living all by her lonesome, so I'll move in to help you. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. No thanks. It's clear that he's not in the right state of mind. Plus, he's got a knack at getting under my skin. Luckily, he doesn't seem to realize it himself. What's the matter? You hate strong men or something? Summon. From what I reckon, handsome old men get tax benefits. Act now and I'll throw in one of those cricket things. He pulls some weird giant spatula-looking thing out of his pocket and starts swinging it around, only for it to slip out of his hands. I see it fly towards the stairs out of the corner of my eye. I originally lived by myself, so I don't need a roommate. I need to drive him away quickly before this becomes another bad experience. I've had enough of those. I know that, of course. I know that. Elderly man suddenly softens his speech. I knew you were all by your lonesome this whole time, Lil Missy, and I know you're no longer alone no more. You changed for good. I like that last part. You changed for good. Look at this art. There ain't no going back to how you were, Lil Missy. Now that you know about the holes in your heart, you can no longer exist by your lonesome. Gosh, are they all connected, I wonder? The elderly man speaks matter-of-factly as he strokes his beard. He accurately describes my current situation objectively and without emotion. He reminds me of one of my college professors. I wonder how he's doing. Wait, have I even gone to college? I think you're just like me, Lil Missy. Your holes are my holes, and I've come to fill... Holes? You mean... Yes, sirree, your holes. He suddenly shouts and makes an exaggerated gesture as he continues. Fine metaphor, if I do say so. I can't do this voice. I didn't prepare no script, but them's fine words if I do say so myself. We are holes. Holes crudely dug out and crudely filled back up. We are holes. A crudely filled hole looks good, but it ain't the real thing, and it ain't got much of a purpose, but either way, it's still there. Can we not reveal more and more? Holes. Well, sure enough, I do feel like some holes have been poked into me. Oh, that's her. Yes. I have to admit, I do feel pretty hurt. Even if getting filled back up doesn't fix everything, it's still a relief just to exist, ain't it? I understand you, Lil Missy. The two of us ain't that different after all. I don't know, slowly I'm getting his voice, but it is really something. I'm very, very afraid right now, and the truth is, it'd be really reassuring if Yoru were by my side. Why did I open my big mouth and drive her away? Wait, no. All I did was pout a bit. Honestly, why was that enough to make her leave? Damn it, that'd been great. I'll give her a piece of my mind. No, I don't mean that. I don't mean that at all. Why does it sound like something he'd say? You really don't remember where you came from, Lil Missy. That's another hole. We don't need any more holes, thanks. Please don't leave me by myself. In other words, oh thank goodness, the only thing that can fill your holes is someone else with holes like me. That way, I can fill my own holes too. If being a loner is my style, then I should at least repent and ask for forgiveness. Can't you get yourself ready to see her again? I quickly back away when I realize the elderly man's grabbing my shoulder. I thought I'd shake him off, but his grip is stronger than I expected, so I just end up stumbling slightly. Let me go. I don't like the way I said that. Let me go. Something, I don't know. Whatever. It's over. I need to see Yoru again. No, I ain't never letting to go. What? A second. How do we... Okay, rewinding is kind of a pain. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Let's just get out already. When the man gets up in my face, I can't help but shut my eyes. What does he want with me? If he's here, then that means he knows where I live, which means I've got no place to run. My beloved, precious. If this goes on any longer, I might as well... Help! Dampfnoodle! Dampfnoodle! Oh, didn't I do a weird, gritty voice for her? Dampfnoodle! Dampfnoodle. Marzipan! I know Marzipan. I don't know Dampfnoodle, though. I open my eyes at the sound of the elderly man's death throes. What's with this old man and filling holes? If you're that lonely, then fill your holes with pudding cups or something. Before my eyes is the elderly man, bleeding from the head and low, holding a bat of some sort. It hasn't even been a week, so I easily recall her name. I'm honestly glad that I still remember. Oh, it's Lo, remember? I do remember. That's your nickname, right? And you live in the room above mine. I've forgotten her real name, but I guess that's no big deal. Oh, right. I wanted to say thanks. I failed to thank her properly, but I'm used to being a failure. In any case, the most important thing is that I'm free from the elderly man now. Are you okay? He didn't hurt you or anything, did he? I'm okay. You know, I am worried about the music. I am forever sorry. I'm always worried about music. I don't know. Maybe you guys can't even hear the music. It's not even a big deal, but I've had issues in the past, so... Okay. I try to show her just how energetic I am, but it comes out awkwardly. Lo giggles. Well, I guess that wasn't a complete failure then. Seeing Lo's smile cheers me up a little, too. Good. Be careful of perverts, okay? Oh, don't worry. I'll do something about him. Oh, he stinks. Okay. Thank you so much. No problem. You and Yoru come visit sometime, okay? Lo goes down the stairs, dragging the elderly man behind her. The man leaves behind a trail of blood. I'll come by when I've got the chance. I murmur a small reply. This house resembles Pacifica's house, but it's even bigger and somehow a little intimidating. I know the price of land is cheap here since it's a rural town, but I think you'd still have to be pretty rich to have a house like this. This house is where Yoru works now. It apparently belongs to an elderly woman named Margaret. Obviously, I don't know a thing about her. I don't have the guts to ring the doorbell. I guess I should have expected that. Instead, I pick up some snow by my feet and play around with it. If I ring the bell, I figure it'll either be Yoru who will answer it or someone else who can fetch her for me. I want to see Yoru and apologize to her. I want to tell her that I don't regret letting her live with me at all. Yeah, but that's just self-serving. I'd only be doing that to make me feel better about myself. So, what should I change about my approach? Maybe if I tell Yoru how I feel, she'll cheer up a little. It's not like our relationship can get any worse. Maybe it's worth a shot? But what if it's not? What if I just make Yoru feel even worse? Now that I think about it, interpersonal relationships don't bottom out at 0. They often run into the negatives. Once the snowball in my hands is as dense as it can be, I chuck it away. If that's the case, then she might snap at me and ask why I'd say something to drive her away. I'm scared. I want to go home, but I can't just leave, so I pick up some fresh snow, pack it into another snowball, and hurl that one too. Now there's no more snow at my feet. I consider picking up dirt and making a mud ball, but that's when the door opens. Hi, Sayaka. Oh, hi. It's okay. I'm doing perfectly fine. No need to worry about me. Oh, no, that's not why I came. After some insistence, I got paid in advance, so I'm good with living expenses. That said, I don't have much in terms of living expenses since it's a live-in job. Yoru gives an ambiguous chuckle. I know my sixth sense could use some glasses, but even I can kind of tell that her laughter is forced. No, that's not it. There's just something I wanted to talk about, and just who gave you permission to talk? Oh wow, Margaret reminds me of one of my favorite characters from Ace Attorney right now. Just at first sight. I wonder if anyone knows who I'm talking about. My favorite character from Ace Attorney. She's hilarious. I'm sorry. The elderly woman lets out a hoarse voice. Are you distracting her? I paid good money to hire that pet sitter, so don't you try to make a fool out of me. Don't mock me. She comes snapping at me, almost pushing Yoru to the side. So Yoru's a pet sitter. She does seem like she'd be good with animals. I'm not paying her to talk on the clock. Are you going to pay for her lost time? Don't mock me. Okay, Margaret. Sure enough, Yoru's holding a leash, but the pet, on the other hand... I'm sorry. Very well, I'll let you off the hook just this once. Don't take me for a fool. The elderly just love giving me an earful today, huh? Are all the elderly town's ghosts like this? I don't have much experience handling the elderly, so all I can do is apologize and regret coming here without a plan. The elderly woman, or rather Margaret, looks like she isn't finished talking, but Yoru cheerfully chimes in as if to interrupt her. I'll go take Rocky on a walk now, okay? I remember, I think I had a higher pitched voice for her, something high and trilly. Right, she's a professional pet sitter now. An unemployed person like me shouldn't distract her. That's not risky! Margaret shrieks hysterically. For a second, I have no idea what's happening. Or rather, I do realize that Margaret just hit Yoru with her cane, but my brain freezes for a few seconds, processing why she did that. The silence seems to come to her all too naturally. Margaret hit Yoru in the face with her cane as if it was the most natural thing in the world. But that's only half of it. The other half has got to be because of the pet I see on the other end of the leash. Both my brain and body freeze in place. I mean, McCready? I'm sorry. No, that's Biscuit. Are you blind? Can't you tell the boys from the girls? What is your problem? Don't take me for a fool. Oh, wow. Oh, what is this? The trendiest pets. Meet the clay pets. That is the name of this achievement. It's a brown lump of clay tied to a rope. And it is... what is this? Is this real? Is it 3D? Is it... Goodness. I'm sorry. Why can't you tell just by looking? That's clearly a girl. Is it? It's clearly a lump of clay, a genderless, inorganic lump. Anyway, we'll be going on that walk. I won't accept any slacking off, okay? And I'll know. Put your heart into it. Heart is key. The heart is key. If it weren't for Yoru whispering, "Let's go," I probably would have been stuck standing there in shock of the bizarre situation. Oh, right. What is this? I follow after Yoru once she's walked several steps dragging along Biscuit, or rather the lump of clay on a string. So, about Biscuit. This is just a lump of clay. Yoru nonchalantly states the obvious. There are others like it, but Miss Margaret says she can tell them apart. There are others? Yeah, Miss Margaret takes care of about 100 of them in total, and they all have names, but she says it's hard for her to walk them all. 100. It's nowhere near 1,025, but that's still a lot of pets. But why is she naming lumps of clay and keeping them as pets? They don't eat, they don't poop, and they don't bark either. What a groundbreaking pet these pet clays are. Was I thinking out loud again? I'm psychic. Yoru playfully continues. My job is to walk them all and help Miss Margaret around the house, too. Wouldn't it be more efficient to walk them all at once? It's the heart, apparently. The heart. Yeah, apparently walking them all at once is proof of being heartless, and it's a bad influence on the pet clays. I don't get it. I know, right? But I get money and a place to live, so I'll do my best. I'm quite good at menial jobs like this anyway. But she hit you with a cane. An old lady's not strong enough to kill me. Still. Oh, wow. She's treating you like a slave, isn't she? You should quit. Dragging around lumps of clay all day isn't proper work. I can't. I got paid plenty in advance, and I already bought several things. That'd be skipping the bill. Let me take care of it. I'll thrust something sharp into her, and then... Well, she'll just come back, though. I stumble over my words, then I stumble to the ground. This isn't work. All I'm capable of is terror and destruction, and that's not what Yoru needs right now. She's chosen to live in this town as one of its town's ghosts. To live among us in peace with her own role to play. Thank you. I'm glad you care about me. As Yoru speaks, her face looks tired yet lively. It makes me feel like my tiny regrets are nothing more than insignificant digits truncated several places after the decimal point. So I decide not to say anything. Yoru is independent now, so I need to be independent too. By the way, about how deep in debt are you? Despite my decision to be independent, I stubbornly ask that question. I ask because I figure if I can find work for myself and save enough money, maybe I can take her back, or at the very least get her a more decent job. It wouldn't be bad to work towards a goal like that. Yoru starts counting out the money on her fingers. Yoru comes up with a figure that far exceeds my expectations. It's enough money to buy 2 decent cars or 1 good car. What did you use that money on? Several things. I figured I might as well, since I've got nowhere else to go, so I splurged a little. Come on. That's right. I forgot how I'm not used to this girl's thoughtless optimism. Once Yoru makes a lap around town, she goes back to Margaret's house to pick up a new pet clay to walk. While I could tag around with her for another lap, I decide to go back home instead. I can't even bring myself to watch her walk away. It's just so frustrating, I can't watch. If I did, I'm sure I'd start plotting ways to physically persuade that old elderly woman. I know, if I happened to change my mind before I got to my destination, I could always choose to go to Pacifica or Anya for advice. But then again, after all the work those two did to help us out, Yoru found a live-in job by herself and I lost my reason to look for work. I don't know what sort of face I should put on when I report back to them. But I do know that I need to report to them soon. And with that thought in mind, I gaze at the missile as I cross through the plaza.